Hello and welcome back to Cymatic TV. This is a follow-up video on those X-flares that are coming out, just giving us a status report more than anything else, and talking about the top types of energy that it's sort of provoking through the Earth and obviously through your chakra and your aura system. If you haven't seen the messages from energy on the Astroflower, please do go and see it. It'll be linked about my head at some point. Absolutely amazing messages from energy this week here. But let's get on to what's been going on. As we've seen before, there's been some X-flares, and you can well see that up here. There's been several over the last 2 or 3 days. Now, they all seem to be coming from the same or the similar sort of place on the sun, as it were, more than anything else. And it's those sunspots that we can sort of see coming through here. These are the sunspots that were directed at 3i Atlas. So it could be conveying a bit of information according to how the magnetics of the solar system are sort of changing in helping us with our consciousness and our understanding of the greater picture that is around us. But you can see these eruptions on this section here of the sun. As I said, some of them are not going to be, they're going to be doing like a side swipe. It's like as if you fan yourself, like as the eruption goes past the Earth, it creates that wind or air energy. And that's really sort of mental energy. And I was sort of saying that air energy is going to be very prevalent for us coming up to the weekend, and it'll be followed by a bit of fire energy that'll be coming through. The other thing I was talking about as well is that when the sun does an eruption, if it does a follow-up eruption, the first eruption has already cleared the pathway. So the second eruption tends to go a little bit quicker. And this is where we've got 3 eruptions going on here at the moment. So let's just get in to sort of see what was actually happening with that. First thing I'd like to have a look at is when we have the eruption, the last eruption, let's just see where it is on the D scale here. Now this is what we call where it interacts with the radio waves at the moment of eruption upon the Earth's aura. So the similar sort of thing to you and for me. You may have felt like yesterday you got like a sort of like a little bit of a pressure building up on your aura and so forth, and you can see this is where you get the blue dot that's going past South America at the moment. This is where the sun is facing the Earth. This is the radio waves that are coming through, and as it comes past the root chakra, which is down in South America, as we come out the other side of the day, here we go, we get a nice big eruption just in the middle of the Pacific. Now that's particular at the moment. That on that eruption there, you can see it there. It's sort of split into 2 in a way, but it certainly covers all the way across, right from South America right through to Australia. Now this is that air energy that I was talking about with this air energy that's also affecting the Earth's air energy. So this is going to be affecting a little bit of the hurricanes and so forth. And we did speak about it in the energy update the other day. But here is going even more. Here we have just on here. So we have, this is the Philippines, and here we have Vietnam and so forth. This is the one that came through earlier on this week here. And as it comes through, this is where the eruption started again. So it started at this point here. We get the X-flares, and this is what creates that air energy. And it started picking up and getting a lot more powerful as it slams into Vietnam. And as it slams into Vietnam, you can see another one coming into play, which is just here. At the same time of this last eruption, which we will be going into in a minute. And as it does, just look at the depth of that sort of hurricane that's going into the Philippines. It might go north. It might go north up into Korea and so forth, North Korea and South Korea and so forth. But just look at the colours on that. You know, it's pretty much white. And if you look down at the bottom here, you'll see the power scale, as it were, of the wind. And it looks like it's going to be formidable. And I think the solar flares are driving that that sort of hurricane really more than anything else. It's really contributing to a lot of it. But let's just have a look at those 3 different eruptions and see how it's driving the elements or driving the energies that are going through us. So let me just bring up, hang on a second, let me just bring up that that video there. Here we go there. Just sorting out my things. There we go. And this video here is like, you can see here, this is the sun here, the little dot there. You got the little dot there, that's the Earth, and it shows it. This is more sort of vertical, sort of altitude in a way, above and below the Earth, and so forth. And as we can see, let me just take it right back to the beginning. You can see that first eruption on that X flare that came out. That wasn't really hitting us, but it's disturbing that sort of line or that arm of energy that's coming out of the sun, which you can see just about there. And as it comes out, there's a second eruption that comes off. This is also yesterday on the 5th, or the 4th it came through, to be honest, that second eruption. And then the 5th as well, it's still blowing out. And look how fast that last one comes out. Look how fast the last one comes out, and it's hitting Earth directly. You can see it. Let me just pull that out of the way. You can see it down here more than anything else. As we get the flare that's coming through. So it's a direct hit on the Earth at the moment, and that's going to be coming through approximately tomorrow morning. Let's just see where it really sort of starts kicking in. Even tonight, I would say, round about the afternoon. So we're looking at a connection to the root chakra again. It's doubling down on that energy, and we talked about that in the messages from energy. The crown and the root was at such peace, and I think the energy of the sun is trying to, through the prana or the chi energy, is trying to bring the human energies as much as the earth energy back into balance more than anything else. And it certainly was in the messages from energy. There was a huge amount of balance and joyous energy, really, that was coming through from the overall general energies at the moment. So that's going to produce a lot of fire energy because it's a direct energy. Is it a knockout blow? No, I don't think so. But it may cause a bit of complications with other satellites and so forth around Earth. But it also is going to encourage that fire energy that is within you. And we've already seen it in some of the weekly readings that are coming out today, the Earth and the fire signs on the Astroflower, where the fire and air seems to be really important when we're doing the readings this week here. And I was saying that the fire energy was probably going to be turning up late weekend, early next week. It seems to have doubled down and got a lot quicker through the system, obviously, and will be hitting the Earth on the Friday. I would expect more solar flares directed towards Earth, and that has to do with that messages that come from 3i Atlas. If you haven't seen our video on that I put out last week about all the conjunctions on the 3rd and the 4th, a real sort of understanding in regards to the world of energies, in regards to the world of the sun, the earth, the geological aspect of life, and also our position in life and taking our place within the universe. And I think those messages are being conveyed by those eruptions that are coming through the sun at this present time. And it should make us a lot more passionate about life, about what you and I as individuals are doing on our pathway. So there you go. Don't forget about all the messages from energy and the weekly readings on the Astroflower. I will see you soon. Thanking you very much for subscribing, liking and sharing and all of that malarkey. Really helps out with the algorithm of YouTube. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.